Hey guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be continuing our One Piece manga arcs reviews, which I started off a couple of months ago, and I kind of stopped because I didn't feel like it was very good, and now I'm kind of going back into it, bringing you a much better, place, and as you can see we have all the Stripes crew standing right in front of us, and all the other mangas in the background. This is going to be a really incredible series because One Piece is one of my favorite things in the world. I love it so much. It is incredible, and I really do want to continue this series and review every single arc in the series and talk with you guys about it. So last video I kind of did it a couple of months ago, and again I didn't really like how it came out. For the most part I thought it was kind of lame, and again I didn't have all of this kind of cool stuff here, yeah, finally continuing over. Last episode, the first arc in the series was Roman's Dawn, and now we're continuing to Orange Town. So Orange Town is the second arc in the series, and one of the most kind of overlooked arcs in the series, because this arc kind of is kind of sandwiched between a really good amount of arcs. Like, we have the beginning, which was the last arc, which I don't think anyone would say like it's their favorite arc, but it is the beginning, and it's special because it's the beginning. But the other arcs that come after this are incredible. Like, they are really good. Baratier and Arlong Park, they are incredible, so great. Like, they're some of the best in the series today. Yeah, this arc, because of that, it's kind of overlooked, and I want to talk about this arc, kind of why I really like it, even though obviously it's not my favorite as well, but I like it a lot. So this arc spans from chapter, right here, chapter 8, called Nami, all the way to chapter 21, included chapter 21. So yeah, let's keep on going. Right here, it's going to be somewhere around here, whatever the hell it is. No, this is 17. Let's keep on going. 19. Nope. And the book, don't fall on the book. Yeah, it's really close. It's somewhere around here. Wait, I really don't want the book to be close to me. Yeah, 22. So this is the last kind of page of this arc. This is where this arc ends, and the new arc, Syrup Village, begins. So it's from chapter 8 all the way to chapter 21. So this is the arc. So yeah, what this arc is about? Well, this is the first arc, and this is really important for me because a lot of people don't talk about this, but this is the first arc in the series that we get the world building that One Piece is so famous about. Okay, so One Piece is known for having a really good world building, and it starts off with this arc. This arc represents what One Piece does so well, not only with its characters, which, holy shit, we're gonna talk about the characters, but the world building. Okay, so this arc, differently from the first arc, where it was just kind of like we're jumping between different kind of places and towns, this arc is a lot more focused on one town, Orange Town. Okay, and we really get the sense of what this town is, what's going on in it. You can like even see all the villagers and the mayor of the town. You kind of see where the town is and what's going on with it, and kind of a little bit about the history of the arc of the town. And you don't know much about it. You kind of like know a little bit, and you know what's going on with the villagers. Again, this is a pretty short arc. It's bigger than the first arc, which was only 7 chapters, but it's still like not a lot. Come on, like the other arcs are so much longer, but if you compare it to the first arc, it's a little bit longer. So, but yeah, because it's a little bit longer, it kind of takes more time to like show you, look, this is the town, this is what our characters are fighting for. We kind of know what they're doing and why they're doing it. We even have some incredibly emotional like stuff, and again, it's just the beginning, and we don't know much about it, but it's just so great, especially with this dog here. Which, if you ever like watched or read this arc, you know what I'm talking about. How much emotion there is into that. Like, it shows you a lot about the character of Luffy. It really kind of developed the character of Luffy, as well as just showing you what this story can do to you with nothing. Obviously, when we're gonna get to Enies Lobby, you know what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's so great. Like this specifically, this here, the dog with the burning house. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know if there is even like anything to spoil, but just that, like seeing the dog here and Luffy bringing like a piece of the owner's house that it was kind of protecting for the dog. It's super emotional and great. This arc also introduces a couple of great characters. First of all, Buggy the Clown. Now, Buggy the Clown is kind of interesting because I would say is not your traditional typical kind of villain, and it's kind of a really wise decision, or I guess an interesting decision by Oda, the creator of One Piece, to introduce him very early, because he's not your typical villain. And you think, like, why would he show him so early in the story when we know nothing about it? They kind of just pop him in and he's like, oh, I'm like this kind of, and it's kind of comedic. We see very early that Luffy kind of has no much challenge to fight with him. It's pretty like a weak villain, but he's so over the top. Which again, it's really interesting to see that kind of villain in this kind of story. Normally we don't see that. So I was always finding it kind of interesting. Buggy even plays kind of a role later in the story, but is a really cool villain because he's not your typical villain. Is kind of not really a bad guy, but not a good guy, and he's kind of just over the top and thinking himself so much. And another character we actually get introduced in this arc is the character of Nami. All right, Nami is undoubtedly, all right, Nami here is undoubtedly one of my favorite, if not the favorite, female characters in all of fiction. I mean, not fiction. I mean, I don't know, maybe. The amount of characterization and awesomeness this female character gets throughout this series is so great. Now, I know what you're saying, like, there's a lot of other characters and all that stuff, but specifically in terms of manga, like manga versions, and other mangas around the world, like, she is so incredible. And in this arc, we don't know much about her. We kind of know very little about her, kind of what's going on, and some of the mystery. We don't know much about her, but we kind of have some mystery. And as the series goes on, especially when we get to the Baratier and Arlong Park, that's when we're gonna get more and more into Nami's backstory. Like you can see here in this this volume 9, this is where we kind of get more into Nami's backstory and all that, that we really don't get here, but still. It set up the stage to a really interesting character. We don't know much about her, but we're like, oh, she's pretty interesting. We don't know if she's like a good guy or a bad guy. We know she has good stuff in her, but we don't know what's going on. So yeah, super interesting. Now, the fights in this arc are also really, really good. Like, especially for the beginning. I always have a soft spot for the really old kind of fights, because in newer, more traditional One Piece, we have more like crazy powers and everything's like insane and hockey and all that stuff. But here, the battles were just simple. Like, if you have like Luffy's rubber abilities were like the coolest thing in the world. Like, look at that. Look at the muscles. You're like the coolest thing in the world. And we saw how like rubber faced off against other like devil fruits, and it was so cool. Now it's kind of, I'm not saying it's not good now, but it's kind of like, it was much simple back then, and it was something kind of cool. Like, look at that. It's just like really simple art in terms of battle, but it's so awesome especially like Zoro stuff. And in general, this arc was really, really, interesting. I always liked it. I always loved reading it again. Like, the battles are really good. Also, seeing Zoro and Luffy kind of fight, and we have this really cool, interesting stuff about Shanks and his relation to Buggy the Clown. Just in general, a lot of really cool stuff kind of going around in this arc. I always really like it. Also, kind of showing how much Luffy cares for his hat. Even says like, Buggy, like, don't ever touch my hat and all that stuff, like, don't, yeah, you know, he'd like go and fight against him because he had like marks on the hat, which is really great. Like a lot of the stuff that we kind of know about Luffy, ever since the beginning, we kind of know how much he cared for his hat that Shanks gave him, but we didn't know exactly like how much. So yeah, for the most part, that's basically the arc. This is it. This is like the last chapter of the arc. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. I always liked it. I don't think it's incredible or anything, but I do think it sets up good for the beginning of the story. Just really awesome stuff. It still doesn't get you like insanely like hyped for what's to come, but it's really good, and overall really liked it. So yeah, this is my review for Orange Town. We'll see you guys in the next video when we're gonna be reviewing Syrup Village.